Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got another episode of Crushing Quarters for you, where I take you through cards that you can pick up right now for 25 cents, 50 cents, 75 cents, and $1. That's right, 1 quarter, 2 quarter, 3 quarter, 4 quarter. Get it? Anyways, with all that said, let's jump into it. First up, let's start with some cards that just cost 1 quarter or less, and Conclave Mentor is well below that mark at 21 cents. A fantastic card. 2/2 Centaur Cleric in Selesnya that just costs 2 mana. If one or more counters are put on a creature you control, that many +1/+1 counters are put on that creature instead. When this dies, you gain life equal to its power. Now, this card really didn't even need that secondary part to actually be good, because if you are in a +1 counter build, which I believe is in the top 5 right now for the most popular themes on EDH Rec outside of tribal themes, yeah, this is a great card. Being able to say, hey, if I get a lot of counters on something throughout the game, I'm going to be getting more and more and more. Again, if you're getting just those initial, hey, 1/+1 counter on each creature you control, those kind of effects. Now this says, oh, let's just turn that into 2. Obviously, this actually doesn't double up if, you go higher than that. That being said, doubling up, just getting 1 counter on something to getting 2, yeah, that's going to make a massive difference throughout the game. So a fantastic deal right now for a card that is incredibly good in +1 counter builds. Next up, Barring 100,000 Arrows. Now, a card like this is pretty underrated in many builds out there. And of course, there are certain builds out there like Hilda that actually, actively want to tap down creatures, and this is fantastic in them. Let's read the card first. Sorcerer for 2 and 8 blue. Draw a card for each tap creature opponents control. Target opponent controls, I should say. This one is incredible because, again, in those kind of builds, it's like a 3 mana draw. I mean, like maybe even 10 plus, depending on the deck you're playing against. But at the very least, typically in a game of Commander, you're going to be able to utilize this on an opponent who maybe just swung out at someone or whatnot, or maybe have some mana dorks that they're tapping or is tapping for abilities or some other reasons. And now you can actually utilize this to draw a good amount of cards again for just 3 mana. So yeah, if you have, again, a deck that likes to tap or just maybe a control strategy, this can actually just provide you a ton of card advantage. Finally, another blue card, Aether Spouts for just 24 cents right now. An incredible removal spell, instant for 3 blue. For each attacking creature its owner puts on the top or bottom of the library. Now, when you start playing Magic, you might think, well, why wouldn't they put it on top? They want to get those creatures back, right? This is an incredible effect because it's like, okay, sure, yeah, you can basically fate seal yourself for the next couple of turns, getting rid of your attacking creatures and putting them on top of your library and only drawing into those while not drawing other cards. Or if you put it on the bottom of the library, it's basically gone for the rest of the game. I mean, yes, okay, not technically because, yeah, I mean, players are going to shuffle libraries. You might hit something, but the opponent cannot expect to get those creatures back then. So they're in a very, 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 very awkward position that can be very tough for them. And yeah, this and it doesn't say like attacking creature attacking you. It doesn't have to be attacking you. It can be attacking anyone. So yeah, you can just ruin someone's complete strategy if they're unexpectedly swinging someone else, and you're like, you know what? Let's make a deal, me and you. You're getting swung at right now. I can deal with those creatures. What are you gonna do for me? So yeah, this can be a political card as well. So yeah, a very, very, very good removal spell, and yeah, just 24 cents currently. Next up, though, let's move on to 2 quarters. That's right, Signal the Clans is less than 2 quarters at just 43 cents instant for red-green. Search your library for 3 creature cards and reveal them. If you reveal 3 creature cards with different names, choose 1 at random. Put that card in your hand, shuffle the rest in your library. Basically, part about, they happen to have different names doesn't really matter in Commander because unless you're playing like Relentless Rats, yeah, you're gonna have creatures with different names because it's a singleton format. Essentially, this is a 2 mana instant speed creature tutor for, well, again, a very budget friendly price. That being said, yeah, you might not get the exact one that you want. You're going to be getting 1 of 3 creatures at random. But if you have a lot of kind of different iterations of the same creature or same effect in your deck, like let's say you need removal and you've got, a creature-based strategy that has like a Reclamation Sage, an Acidic Slime, and another creature that can remove things as well, like Mass Vandal. Yeah, you've got options essentially, and you can go get 3 creatures and it might not matter which one you get. So yeah, there's a lot of different creatures, a lot of different iterations that can really help you out. And this is a great creature tutor at instant speed again for just 2 mana to go get one of those creatures for the situation that you are in. So yeah, in a creature-based strategy, that's a lot of different options. It's going to be a fantastic card. Moving on, my goodness, I remember when this card was so expensive. Disrupt Decorum. Source for 2 red, go to all creatures you don't control. And this version, again, is just 50 cents. This is an incredible card. This is 4 mana, well, chaos at the table for your opponents, but also it's a way to say, you're all just doing my dirty work for me, okay? You all have to attack, but you're going to have to attack each other, and you're going to leave me out of it. And then because of that, you're going to be swinging out. You're going to be probably not having any blockers ready to go next turn. I can swing at you then. You're basically doing my dirty work for me. You're getting rid of each other and also getting rid of your defenses too. So yeah, a crazy good card. I can't believe it's just 50 cents now. Speaking of which, Bring to Light, also just 50 cents right now. Source for 3 green and a blue. Converge your life for a creature. Instant source card mana value less than or equal to the number of colors and mana spent to cast it. Exile a card. You may shuffle your library. You have to shuffle your library. Just skipped ahead. You may cast the card without paying its mana cost. Essentially, this is a crazy tutor where there are many tutors out there that just straight up cast the card that you were going to get. That being said, yeah, it is somewhat limited, right? You do probably need to be in a deck that has at least a couple of colors, 3, 4, 5 color obviously is the best, because if you use all 5 colors for this spell, go get something that costs 5 or less, cast it for free. Has to be a creature, instant, or sorcery, but still, it's a crazy good effect. If you got a deck that is built around a certain creature, instant, or sorcery, go get it, obviously. Or yeah, if you want to tutor for something else, you can actually just, I've done this before, cast this, and then use Diabolic Tutor in your deck. Like if Diabolic Tutor is in your deck and you at least spent 4 different colors of mana to cast this spell, go get that tutor to tutor for something else that you actually need that doesn't meet this requirement. So it's a very good card. It is definitely a fantastic tutor and one that is incredibly interesting and now very budget friendly. But now let's move on to 3/4. And first up, we got Prowler's Helm, well underneath that 75-cent mark at 67 cents. An equipment for just 2 mana that costs 2 to equip, and it says creature can't be blocked except by walls. Now, if you play in a playgroup that is all Arcades the Strategist decks, don't use this. But if you're playing in just a playgroup that doesn't have just all wall decks, yeah, this is an incredible card because this is basically, hey, yeah, you're unblockable. And you don't really see too many effects that just straight up make a creature unblockable, especially on a piece of equipment, especially one that is pretty budget friendly as well. It's a great card out there for any kind of a commander that might have a combat damage trigger on an opponent, or, just your typical Voltron strategy. So it's a great way to ensure that you can get your commander or other creatures through. Moving on. I kind of never thought I'd see the day when this was budget friendly again. Storm-Kiln Artist, a 2/2 Dwarf Shaman for 4 mana in red. Gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control, which is nice, but more importantly, Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a treasure token. That is absurd. Essentially, every single one of your instant sorceries, whether it's cast or copied, is a ritual now. And again, a ritual with like mana that you can just save up. So yeah, you just make a treasure every single time you're doing that. The more and more treasures you have, obviously, the more this can hit, essentially. But that's fine, Like, you're probably not going to be sending this into combat unless you can guarantee it's going to survive because this is too valuable. It's a crazy good card. Again, if you have a Spellslinger strategy, you definitely want to consider something like this. And then finally, for 3/4, we've got Terminus. 75 cents on the dot. Sorcery for 6 mana. Put all creature cards on the bottom of their owner's libraries. Miracle for a single white mana. So yeah, if you happen to hit, this is the first card that you drew in a turn, you can just spend a single mana to actually cast this, which is pretty crazy. Now, with this though, even if you aren't miracle cost casting it, it's still incredible because there's a lot of decks out there, like aristocrat style strategies that have a lot of death triggers. And this is like, no, you don't get those. Also, this is a way to essentially get around graveyard-centric deck, reanimator decks that are like, yeah, okay, you dealt my creatures, but they're in my graveyard and I'll get them back. No, this says, you know what, Marin deck? We're taking all these creatures and they're going on the bottom of libraries, which again, like I mentioned earlier, Aether Spouts is essentially just gone forever in Commander for the most part. So yeah, a crazy good removal spell, a crazy good Wrath, whether you're casting it for its 6 mana cost, or especially, of course, if you're casting at its miracle cost for just a single mana. But now let's talk about the 4/4 cards that I want to highlight. And first up, at exactly $1, we've got Claws of Gix, an artifact for 0 mana. Pay 1, sacrifice permanent, you gain 1 life. Now, if you're playing a strategy that just likes having 0 mana artifacts, yeah, I mean, this fits the bill. Like an Urza strategy, essentially, where, you just, hey, there's a bunch of, 0 mana artifacts you put into play, you tap for mana, there you go, basically, mocks, essentially. But more importantly, not more importantly, I guess I should say, but more applicably, is that a word? You can utilize this, of course, with decks that are, well, wanting to sacrifice different kinds of permanents, like aristocrat-style strategies. And, of course, life gain can work in there, too. But more likely, you're like, yeah, this is just a sacrifice outlet that I can get out there for free. It can sacrifice literally anything if I need to sacrifice literally anything. And then make sure that you're taking advantage of that. So, yeah, a great card to consider. Next up, speaking of sacrifice, Selfless Spirit at 99 cents, 2/1 Spirit Cleric with flying that costs just 2 mana. Sacrifice it, creature control gain indestructible until end of turn. This is a crazy good card. This is basically board wipe protection that stays in play for you until you need it. As long as your opponents don't deal with it, I should say. But yeah, a crazy good card. Again, just protect yourself for 2 mana, saying, okay, yeah, go ahead and cast your Wrath, because I'm going to sacrifice this, protect my team, and then you all are down creatures, and I'm fine. Or yeah, just cast your own board wipe, and then sacrifice this to save your team as well. At the very least, though, it's a 2/1 flyer for just 2 mana, which is very nice as well. Of course, works well under aristocrat strategies too, because this can self-sacrifice. So yeah, a very, very good card. Finally, at 99 cents, Game Plan. Sorcery for 6 mana, 5 and a blue assist. So if you can convince another player to help you out, they can help pay for it as well. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard in their library and draws 7 cards. Exile Game Plan. This is a great wheel. I mean, I guess I should say wheel effect, but it's more like Time Twister, where you are shuffling things, essentially, resetting it, and then saying, yeah, everyone gets a new 7 cards. And just, yeah, again, their graveyards reset too. So kind of a wheel, more like a Time Twister type effect. But still, if you're in a deck that can take advantage of drawing a lot of cards, if you've got certain things that trigger when you're drawing cards, if you've got ways like a Thought Reflection to double up your card draw, a fantastic card. Or just one that needs to reset things and ensure that, hey, you know what? Okay, I'm fine. If someone's trying to mill me, I'm resetting it. I'm good. I need to reset my hand because I've got so many spells to cast. I'm good. And also, again, it is political. You can convince another player like, hey, you need a new hand, right? You've got no cards in hand. Help me cast this, and I'll cast it. So yeah, make sure you're considering something like this. But now this episode is coming to a close. It's my turn to hear from you. So let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on these cards. Which are you excited to pick up? And what other cards right now are budget friendly that you're excited about? If you're looking forward to picking up any of these cards, make sure you check out that card list link in the description below. With all that said, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.